Hey guys, it's your girl Ghosty, or Ghost Girl Wake Up. I haven't been on this channel for a while, but I am coming back. I just want to give you some updates and just kind of let you know who I am and what's going on. First and foremost, the elephant in the room. I have changed my name a few times. It's gone from Ghost Girl to Ghost Girl Wake Up to Ghosty. Here's what it is. When I started creating music, I wanted to go by Ghost Girl. There was no Ghost Girl. I ended up really battling with that, whether going with that or my real name. I ended up choosing my real name and then decided to change my mind. By the time I did Ghost Girl, there was another Ghost Girl. So I was like, all right, well, mine is all lowercase, so that's fine. To be honest with you, it was way too complex. I really liked the name Ghost Girl Wake Up. It's kind of a theme for me at the time in the season of my life. It was too complex, too hard to look up. So we shortened it, we changed it to Ghosty. People really liked Ghosty. Call me Ghost Girl Wake Up, Ghosty. I don't care. With that being said, what's the update? Like, what's going on in life? Did you abandon this channel? No. Well, yes, initially I did. I have a second channel that I put kind of vlog style content on called Wake the Girl. Here I'm gonna put more of my straight to the point content, things that I wanna talk about. I moved to LA a little over 2 years ago. It's been incredible. I somehow got into martial arts, which is crazy. When I moved to LA, 2 months after I got here, I lost my job. And that same day I got hired at a studio that I have literally met a bunch of A-list celebrities at and gotten a bunch of opportunities. So that's been really cool. I've done some songwriting for people. I've done some background vocals. And yeah, we're still doing it. Now, I did go through a season of my life where I felt like the studio wasn't really kind of serving me anymore. I was doing a lot of audio engineering there and I was learning so much, and I still love that studio to death. But it just wasn't making sense for the season I was in. I started going viral for my fighting videos and was just really leaning into fighting and the content. I was still doing music, but I wanted to lean into the content creation because I just really loved it. So now we're back. So fast forward, I've been trying to compete in MMA for a while, since like last August. It hasn't happened, it's been really hard. I did a jiu-jitsu comp in January, and I had a Muay Thai fight and she pulled out like a week or two before the fight. So still in that same bubble of like trying to fight, but I'm traveling in the next 2 months, so it's just not gonna happen. I'm really taking this season to figure out how to like reset and rebalance the music aspect of my life and the martial arts. Music is forever my first love. I grew up singing in church. We did gospel, we did worship, we did hymns, we did everything. And when I moved to LA, I got saved again. It's been a continual process, but in this season of my life, kind of stepping up more, like coming back to worship and then also youth leading. Coming back to worship has literally made me fall back in love with music. I didn't start off like doing music production and recording myself. I started off just like singing in my room with my guitar. I used to post videos of myself. I wouldn't even show my face. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a season of my life where I really loved recording music. That's how I fell in love with the idea of even being an artist and making music. I was working at a tiny studio in Indianapolis, and they had this back room that had a giant desk, 2 speakers, a monitor, a Scarlett 2i2, and an SM7B. The door was so thin that you could hear everything in my recordings in the background, and you could barely step around the table in the room. But it was in that room that I found myself through like writing music and singing, and I just really fell in love. It's not just that I fell in love with the music, it changed me like spiritually as a person. I had a rough upbringing in a lot of ways. When I started making music in that back room, I started realizing how many word curses and lies had been spoken over my life. It was kind of like I was taking back my life. Like I was finally being free, like being myself, not who people told me I was. I was so trapped by my home life that it just dictated everything in my life. It freed me when I started making music. I started making music to be seen. That's why I went by Ghost Girl. It originally started with this tattoo. It's a tribute to Lil Peep because I really liked his music at the time. Granted, I wasn't doing the stuff that he was doing, but I really resonated with like that feeling of emptiness and like the depression. So I was just like, oh, I want to get a tattoo, but I don't want to get the one that everybody else has. Tattoo artist boyfriend at the time was like Ghost Girl, and I was like, yo, like that feels like me. Like I feel like a ghost girl. I started making music because I just wanted to be seen. Like I had so much pain and I felt like I was like saying it. I was saying it to people and it was just like not being heard. I started writing music because I just wanted somebody to see me for once. As I continued to make the music, I saw myself and I didn't need it anymore. Like I was complete. I didn't need this like outside validation. Then it went from making music to be seen to making music for other people to be seen and feel heard. And I really feel like I'm meant to like empower and encourage people through my music, but not just my music, like through my life and my story. And that's what I'm here to do. So where does the fighting and the martial arts come in? I've always been a really bold and fiery girl. I feel like as a kid, I just had so much anger but it was never for no reason. I am somebody with a really strong sense of justice. Looking back, I felt like a lot of things were unfair, and that's what really like boiled up my anger. But also sometimes that idea of justice can lack perspective. You get angry about something, but then not know a detail, and now you just like burn a bridge, right? So I felt like I had this fire that was just burning down the forest. At some point, as I got older, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm burning everything. I need to stop. And it became suppression, which turned into anxiety. So now I'm trying to suppress what I feel, and it's making me extremely anxious. And so I had to find a medium. Avatar is like one of my favorite shows. And Zuko has this fire that he uses for evil. And then when he stops wanting to use it for evil, he doesn't know how to use his fire. He had to learn how to pull his fire from his passion and utilize it in a whole new way. And it was just as powerful, but it was directed and tamed the right way. So when I moved to LA, I was in good shape. I was like, I'm trying to stay in shape, so I'm going to try boxing. I show up to this gym. I'm thinking it's gonna be a boxing class. It's jujitsu. I don't even know what jujitsu is. I'm the only girl there, and there's a bunch of men like rolling on the ground. I'm naive. I don't even think anything of it. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'll wrestle. What's up? The head coach was there. I didn't know he was the head coach at the time, but he welcomed me in. He was super cool. I felt like he treated me just like the guys. He believed in me. He wasn't like, oh, this girl, she just, go ahead, just try it, whatever. No, like he was like, oh, yeah, do it like this. And then I'd pick up on it. I just knew that he believed in me, and I really liked this new thing. And I didn't know a lot of people. So day and night, I'm in there just training. Muay Thai, MMA, jiu-jitsu, anything, everything. I just became obsessed. I think I became obsessed because it resonated with this part of me that is strong-willed. The more that I learn fighting and martial arts, the more I learn the martial artist way, which is knowing how to be calm during the chaos. It's not turning off your fire, it's utilizing your fire with wisdom. It really resonates with my spirit in a lot of ways. On the other hand, music touches this like really soft and sensitive part of me that just exists. I see the world in color. I see the world in poems. I'm very emotional, I'm sensitive, and I love that about myself. I'm not gonna turn that off. I really love love, whether that's like friendship, relationship. I love to love. I love to feel, and I'm not gonna turn that off. I'm not gonna be ashamed of it. So I have these two parts of me, this like rough, rigid, fiery aspect, but also this aspect that's like super emotional and sensitive. And honestly, like my emotions and my sensitivity kind of fuels my fire. So now it's like, okay, how do I channel that, and how do I use that with wisdom? Because it's really not a bad thing. It's my superpower. And any weakness is also a strength. Any strength is also a weakness. Life is just about understanding the double-edged swords and how to use them. So yeah, here I am, 2.5 years later in Los Angeles, living the best life I've ever lived, loving my life the most I've ever loved it. I'm gonna continue to do it, and I'm really excited that people want to be a part of the journey and that people care. I've been blessed enough that like people have supported me for a really long time, and they've seen me in a lot of phases, in a lot of eras. I've changed a lot. I was a devout Christian into a completely not devout Christian, like spiritualist, partying hard. Now I'm in this phase and season of my life again where I've found Christ, and you know, I want to live life his way, and I want to continue to learn how to do that. I think that I'm supposed to impact the youth. I think that I'm supposed to be a leader, and so I'm just learning how to do that and just continuing to seek him out and learn how I need to humble myself in order to get to where I want to be and who I want to be. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story. Honestly, my story and my testimony is so long, and this video is probably already so long. I just wanted to share an update. We'll be posting more videos on this channel. They're gonna be more straight to the point. There's gonna be a lot of covers. There's gonna be a lot of talking about the music industry and talking about fighting. If you wanna see more of my day-to-day life, you can follow my channel, Wake the Girl. I'll have my vlog videos and all my fun stuff on there. I have my Japan trip on there right now. I'm going to Spain in May, so I will have some vlog footage from that as well. If you wanna get to know me, follow Wake the Girl. That's where you'll really see who I am beyond, you know, the facade of the internet and the curtain of the internet. I'm Ghosty, and I'm so excited for this journey and for where it's going, and I'm grateful you're here.